But first, breaking tonight, the president and first lady on the ground in Texas, getting a firsthand look at the destruction from those deadly flash floods. The Trumps meeting with local officials and first responders who are still there digging through the damage in the Texas Hill Country. President Trump praising rescue teams during a roundtable with officials. And search and rescue efforts are still ongoing right now. At least 120 people are dead. More than 160 are still missing. Correspondent Garrett Tenney was in Kerrville with the president. He joins us now. Good evening to you, Garrett.
Aisha, good evening. The president and first lady also met with some of the families whose children were swept away by the floodwaters a week ago today. And after touring some of the devastation, President Trump said while he has seen some bad natural disasters, he's never seen anything like this. President Trump on the ground in Kerrville, Texas this afternoon.
We mourn for every single life that was swept away in the flood, and we pray for the families that are left behind.
The president and first lady joining Texas Governor Greg Abbott for an emergency response briefing as questions remain over the alert systems in place at the local, state, and federal levels.
We're going to look and see how can a thing like this, they could say it's a 100-year, somebody said it's a 500-year event. It doesn't, we're not going to let a thing like this happen again where it can wreak this kind of devastation.
We're going to work on alerts. We're going to work on every single solution to make sure things like this don't happen again, not just in this community, but in other river basins across the state also.
Search and recovery teams from across the country are digging through debris all along the Guadalupe River, searching for the people who are still missing. Among those are several campers and a counselor from Camp Mystic, where a cross brought by a volunteer group is going up.
We thank you, Lord, that the cross has risen.
I know where they're at, and I know that he's got them and he's holding them.
We are being flooded.
Alden Towler was one of the lucky ones to survive. He, along with a family friend and her 1-year-old, climbed on top of their roof as the floodwaters rose.
I was just trying to give her physical comfort and just reminding her, like, we're going to be okay, even though I didn't know we were going to be okay.
The community is coming together and paying tribute to their lost loved ones with a growing memorial.
There's a release that they can begin to heal, and that the nightmare is still ongoing, but this is the very first time that you get a little bit of hope in the world.
A week after these deadly floods, rain is once again in the forecast. Fox Weather says this area could get up to an inch of rain this weekend. Normally, that wouldn't be a problem, but given how saturated the ground here is right now, even that little bit of rain could lead to more flooding. Aisha?
Wow, they just can't catch a break. Garrett Tenney live for us in Texas. Garrett, thank you.
John, we're going to bring in Southern Oaks Church pastor Joe Taylor and his daughter Hannah Taylor. As I mentioned, you have been collecting donations to do anything that you can. How are your efforts going? Please do give us an update.
Our efforts are going really well at this point. We're just trying to match the funds and the supplies that we've been given with the flood victims, and we've been experiencing some real joy when we've been connecting some certain gift to a certain need. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. And Hannah, it's our understanding that you started to get so many physical donations, you started to say, okay, maybe we'll take monetary donations so that we can deploy and purchase supplies that we know are needed the most at this time. So how would you describe the efforts, and what is it that people need the most right now?
Sure. Yes. So we were overwhelmed by the amount of physical donation support that we received even early on. So right now, we hate to turn away people who are trying to help us, but we're a small town, we're a small church, so we've got all the physical items that we need. We are taking gift cards, and we're taking any monetary donations on our southernoakschurch.com website under the Flood Victims tab for giving. That way we can just direct things to what they need. We have noticed a need for shovels and more cleaning supplies, but we're between those items and gift cards. That's where we're focusing our attention right now, because people don't even have space to store a lot of the physical items that we're holding for them. We hope to distribute those in the coming weeks as people find a place to stay. But right now, we're just kind of trying to meet them where they are and get them the support we can with food and necessary items.
Joe, we're watching the president and the first lady on the ground there with the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. They're getting an update from first responders. It looks like what's happening is, as Nim Kidd, the head of emergency management, the chief of emergency management, stands by, he's bringing in individual officials to give the president an update on the situation on the ground there, perhaps each of them offering their own observations and expertise to the matter. But Joe, do tell us what this visit by the president means for the people of these communities there.
It means that he cares. His presence is very appreciated and very loved. And that's one of the themes that we have seen throughout this flood situation is people ask, where is God in all of this? He's with us. That's one of his names is Emmanuel, which means God is with us. And so you don't want to be in a situation where you're not aware of his presence. And so when somebody shows up like the president, that just means he cares. And we are so thankful for that.
Hannah, the first lady, has always been just an absolute a comfort to so many in times like this during President Trump's first and now second terms. What do you believe that this visit means for the folks there?
I think people just want to know that they are seen. Even though a lot of people in this have not been seen or found yet. So I think for them being here and having the first lady here, and as a woman, I feel like that's a nice level of comfort that you're adding on top of a lot of horrible things that we're working through, but having some love and compassion and just people on the ground. I mean, people coming into our buildings, some of them are so flustered, they just need a hug and to pray with them. They don't even know what items they need yet, like I mentioned. So having people on the ground and nurturers here is what we're looking to provide to those that come in our doors. So to me, it's just an extra show of love and support.
Joe, I imagine there's mornings you wake up and still just can't even believe this happened.
Correct. We all know a family or a friend that has lost someone or who was lost. And that's the heartstring, that's the hurt. And so the whole community is coming together. In fact, Hannah has started an Adopt a Family or Individual program. Hannah, can you tell them about that?
Sure.
Yeah, just if we run out of time, you can go to southernoakschurch.com and scroll down on the homepage. But just today, we have rolled out a program because we're getting calls from organizations, businesses, and churches all over the country saying we want to help. We are a small church. We can't connect everybody to every person. So we've rolled out a program where we're just going to start as flood victims come into our building and need help. I am pairing them with a church or a business or a company that says, give us something to do. We're putting them on an email and saying, you guys take it from here. Make Amazon wish lists, give them furniture. People need cars. So we're just trying to connect all of the resources and use our church as a vessel to make those connections because we're just one church trying to do the work of what an entire city needs help with.
Well, people can look up your church, Southern Oaks Church. You are doing so much for so many. And wow, that sounds like an amazing effort because to your point, you only have so many people, and connecting them with other churches around the country who are trying to help sounds like a great idea. Thank you so much for coming on the program, and our best to you and your efforts on the ground there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. God bless. John?
I've never seen anything like it. A little narrow river that becomes a monster. And that's what happened. But the First Lady and I are here in Texas to express the love and support and the anguish of our entire nation in the aftermath of this really horrific and deadly flood. Nobody has any idea how and why a thing like this could happen.
My deepest sympathy to all of the parents who lost beautiful young souls. Deepest sympathy from all of us to the community, to everybody who lost a loved one. We are grieving with you. Our nation is grieving with you. We just met with the wonderful families. We pray with them, we hug, we hold hands. They shared the stories, and I met beautiful young ladies. They gave me this special bracelet from the camp in honor of all of the little girls that they lost their lives. So we are here to honor them and also to give the support, help, and I will be back. I promise to them, and I just pray for them and giving them my strength and love.
What is your message, and maybe Governor Abbott as well, to these folks on the left who are using this to gain partisan points in viral videos?
Well, I'll start off by just saying, you know, they've lost their confidence. They've had a tremendous run of bad talent. I don't say bad luck, I say bad talent. And all they want to do is criticize. And I hope we can someday be bipartisan, but all they like to do is criticize. And they're getting just absolutely clobbered because everyone sees what an incredible job the governor did. Everybody in this room, everybody at this table in particular, but everybody in this room did an incredible job. And the public knows it. You know, the public's wise to it. They have their soundbite. They send out a soundbite, and it's supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to say that. And if you don't say that, they throw you out of the party. No, they've lost, honestly, they've lost their confidence. I see some of the people they're putting forward, and those people will only ruin our nation. Our nation, a year ago, was dead. And it was going down, but it was dead. And now we have the most successful nation anywhere in the world.
I want to thank you first, Mr. President, for being here. As Texans, as Americans, you know, the presidency can seem far away, focused on international affairs. It's never been something far from you to be in touch with ordinary Americans. And I think it means a lot, so thank you.
Well, the people in this room and the people in this community have been unbelievable what they've gone through. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, frankly. When you have a wave that's almost 40 feet high just come rushing through this, you would think it was a dam that burst. Maybe you could understand that, but you can't understand this. And I just want to thank everybody here in the room and in the community itself. It's been incredible the way they pulled together.
What you're looking at right here, Mr. President, is the brain center of search and rescue to notify, coordinate the process of notifying the next of kin, to understand the problems. You've got City of Kerrville, you've got Kerr County, you've got Texas EMS. What would you say? A lot of volunteers. What would you say to everyone?
Well, they're talented and they've got a big heart. And I just spoke to some of the people, family members who lost a child, for the most part, lost a child. They've lost everything. They've lost everything in many ways. But I just think it's amazing what you're doing. And real talent in this room. I know a couple of you, I've seen you working, I've seen you at work, and you have real talent. And it's a shame because there's sometimes nothing much you can do when you see devastation like that. But amazing job that they've done.
You know, not every president has visited disaster zones and been here in touch with ordinary Americans. Why is it important to you to show up in Texas?
Well, I showed up in Ohio, and it was a great thing to do, and I made permanent friends in Ohio, in that little community that had, remember the train going through, and it was a mess. It was a mess, and other people didn't show up for like a year and a half, and frankly, I made real friends there. We did a good job. We helped them out, and we're going to help this community too. They love each other. I just left this group of people. They just love each other. They love the community, and they're going to rebuild. They want to rebuild. I didn't hear one person. We spoke to a lot of people. Didn't hear one person that wants to leave. And some lost a daughter, 2 daughters even. And boy, it's a tough thing that they're going through. But it's an amazing community. I like to do it. I think I have an obligation. I think as president, I really have an obligation to do it. I've done it many times, but this is as bad as I've seen.
I think you're going to end up with a lot of friends in Texas. You already have a lot of friends in Texas, but you'll end up with more here in Texas.
Texas has been great, and you've been great, and you've been doing very well. I have to say, if I can interject, he's got very high ratings. The show is a big success, so we'll at least say that.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. As you mentioned, you just came from next door meeting with some of the families of victims. What did you get to share with them? What did they share with you?
Well, they told me stories, and I'm a little late for this because I didn't want to rush. Spent quite a bit of time over there. I'm very late for the governor. The governor's in there, and he's waiting with some of his people, but he fully understands. He's done a great job. He's been a terrific governor, actually. And we met him at the plane and the helicopter. We went together to get here. It's tough. It's a tough go with the roads and all the blockages and everything else. But what I learned in that room and from some other people that I spoke to, I just really, how much they love their family. And I wanted them to talk. I said, you have pictures of your daughter. And they showed me pictures of their daughter, and they talked about how great a student she was in one case, and, just different things about the daughter. And I let them talk, and they were so happy to be able to talk about their child that they just lost. I mean, they just lost. They can't even believe it. And sometimes you wake up in a week or 2 weeks from now and you realize what happened right now. A lot of people don't even know what happened. This happened so fast. But whatever, look, the office of president should, I think, whoever is here has to be here for a thing like this. This is a real tragedy.
What was the emotion in that room? What are they feeling at this moment? Is it anger? Do they feel a loss of hope? What do they feel?
It was very interesting. Really, they feel a love for the community. They wanted to rebuild. I mean, they talked about, we're going to rebuild, we're going to come back. It's the only place that people should grow up. They talked about the community more than anything else, which is a beautiful thing. I see that sometimes. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they want to get out of a community. I've seen that too. But they really talked about the love of this community. The store, which, as you know, was pretty well demolished, but the two walls are standing, and they want to rebuild it with those two walls standing. And it's very beautiful. It's cute in a certain way, but really beautiful. The love that they have for this community. It's going to rebuild. Look, it's going to be hard to say it can ever be like it was. Too much death, so much. I mean, right now they're looking for still a lot of people missing. But they're going to rebuild this community.
Mr. President, you have children, you have a daughter, you have grandchildren. We're approaching 1 year from you having a very narrow escape from death. Do you think all of this in any way gives you a unique perspective on what's happening here and what people are experiencing here in Texas?
Well, I went through a lot. It was a crazy time, very surreal, actually, if you want to know the truth. I've got this massive crowd of people, and all of a sudden you hear and you feel something that's very unusual. And I got down quickly, and I was, people screaming, get down, get down. It was the whole thing was just crazy. And it's hard to believe a year is up, and here we are. A lot of things have happened since then, including the presidency. So, I have an obligation to do a good job, I feel, because I was really saved. I was really saved by somebody very special. People that are shooters, I'm not so much of a shooter, but people that were shooters say it's almost impossible that was a miss. I mean, it was a hit, but it was a miss. Although I do get that throbbing feeling every once in a while.
Is that right?
Yeah, a little bit. But no, I owe a lot. And I hope the reason I was saved was to save our country. We had a country that was, I don't say dead because it's too strong, but we had a country that was really very close to being finished, in my opinion. And now we have the hottest country in the world. That's why I'm so saddened by this. But it's one of those things, those tragic things that happen. But we had a country that was dead. It was dead. It was really in deep trouble. I was with world leaders, and they said, a year ago your country was dead, and now you have the hottest country in the world. And it sounds rough initially, but, the second part of that statement is true. We have the hottest stock market. We have financially, everyone's going to be in great shape. And we've done a good job. So maybe the reason that I'm here after Butler, maybe that was part of the reason. We've worked hard. We don't take big vacations. If we take 10 minutes off, it seems like a lot. I think we've accomplished a lot in a short period of time. But being here was very important.
It's natural. It happens after a tragedy like this that the blame game begins. Right. And almost immediately, people were trying to blame your government, trying to blame DOGE cuts, trying to blame the National Weather Service. We have done the facts. We have reported the truth. The National Weather Service seems to have done an exemplary job.
They did.
DOGE seemed to have had no effect. But what would you say to those that are looking to blame politics for what just happened here?
Well, these are people that have taken a pounding, a beating. They've lost their confidence. They've lost their way. It happens anytime there's anything. It's Trump's fault. You could have something happen on the other side of the country that had nothing to do with us, that had to do with them, actually. And they'll say, oh, it's Trump's fault. It's just like a soundbite. You see it. It comes over to the fake news or the news, but the fake news oftentimes. And no, with the weather service here, if they were actually well-stocked, more than normal, they actually gave a lot of warnings. And the problem with the warnings, it was 1 o'clock in the morning or it was late in the evening, and it happened so fast. And it's easy to say the state or the local area, the city, whatever, but and it's easy to blame the federal government, but the money was tremendous. Everything was there, and they did a really good job. They actually had warnings the day before that there was going to be something. And they then had the warnings very shortly, right before the event, right before this horrible, tragic event. The other thing, the people worked and they just reacted so well. I just met some of the first responders, the sheriff's office. I met them all, and they are unbelievable. They acted so quickly. So this is just something that happens. It's a tragedy. It's a horrible thing, but really, and you look at something, whether it's maybe an alarm system, a massive alarm system, there's something maybe can be done. That was the first thing came to mind when you hear a bad weather forecast, you hear alarms. Now, I've never heard of that system being put up. You start thinking about it, though, maybe that would be something appropriate. But, if an alarm went off at 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe that would have been something that would have been good. But I want them to look for everything anyway. But this was a case where the Weather Service really supposedly did a very good job. Plus, they had more people than they would normally have. They actually had it was very well stocked. Their warnings were early and consistent, and they kept getting more dire. Actually, they called it right, but it was boy, it's a tough thing to watch.
Well, I'm glad to hear that what you're hearing from people here in Kerrville, in Kerr County, is a spirit to rebuild, to come back. What commitment can you give from the federal government to help us rebuild here in Texas?
Well, we've already given the governor unlimited within minutes, and we spoke with your congressman and congresswomen, and we've given them max. We've maxed out, and we'll continue to max out. And I just told the group we're going to help them throughout the process. They want to help and they want to rebuild. And the billions of dollars that this country gives away for things that they shouldn't be doing. And this is not billions of dollars. This is a relatively small amount of money, but it's a lot of love. It's a lot of love and a lot of heart. And so we're going to stay involved. And I told Chip, I told some of the people that we're going to stay involved very much. Brian Babbitt's involved also. He's right down the road, congressman. And we have some great people, some great political people here. I flew out with a plane load of them, your 2 senators and a number of Congress people, and they wanted to be here, and I wanted to be here, and I'm glad I did. And I learned something. I learned the love that they have. It's amazing when you lose your daughter and you're talking about we're going to rebuild this town. It's pretty tough to do.
Again, it means a lot that you're here. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Right. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
My thanks to President Trump and to the First Lady. And my thanks to you. It's been a tough week of news, and I appreciate your attention and your investment.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.